One Slido question that I saw was about pivots, or I think like Jack Dorsey sees them as founding moments in the life cycle of the company. Were there some in Buffer that you can share?
That's actually an awesome question, because the reason I think this question is awesome is because we got very lucky. There were other things involved. There were other factors involved, but we got very lucky to some extent with the product, because there were some changes from the beginning, but it didn't change that much. So I sometimes feel like, my story is a little bit boring, because I'm like, almost like this lucky punch, right? Like we worked hard and we struggled, obviously, but the product from the very beginning is not that dissimilar to what the product is today. And I feel like some people, I think especially for like, if I think about like Andreas, for example, which I feel like he's like a phoenix. He's like, he crashes and burns with the previous thing, but then he just comes up again and does the next thing. And I think that's really exciting. I think that's really what an entrepreneur is all about. Is this like, being rejected, failing it, and doing the next thing and making it even bigger, making it even better. And no matter what happens, you may be crashing, burn, but then boom, you're just there again, right? And so from a pivot, from a product perspective, we actually didn't have that, and we were actually more. It's actually another Austrian startup. I think of. I don't know if like. I think they now do ChatGrape. I think. Again, I love their story. Started with something completely different, didn't work, have to change it completely, I have to change it completely again. I think this is truly fascinating. It's truly inspiring to myself. And so in our case, actually, Buffer, we did social media management just for Twitter at the very beginning. Now we do it for multiple networks. We had some slight tweaks. We made one change where we were focused on consumers. We wanted to be like Evernote. Like, I don't know if does anyone use Evernote in here? So yeah, awesome. So many people use Evernote, right? And Evernote is kind of saying like we have millions of users and lots of kind of people paying, and we wanted to have that as well, just $10 a month, lots and lots of people. But we found is that actually Buffer is oftentimes the value increases for especially large companies where they have like 10 people managing their social accounts. We can help them, we can simplify things, and we solve a huge pain point for them. So that was one discovery that we had. Actually called it the quiet pivot, which I thought is a very fitting name for it, which is kind of like we moved like a smidge to a different changed our trajectory, but that's kind of how it changed. Yeah.